Local news with Airpark Canterbury. Find cheaper airport parking and we'll beat it by 10%. airparkcanterbury.co.nz.
Christchurch has become the first city council in New Zealand to decide to stop doing business with organisations trading with the Israeli settlements. This is largely symbolic, isn't it?
Yes, I wasn't actually at the meeting yesterday. I had a little bit on my plate. But in general, it was a UN-generated list. The people that are on the list, we don't deal with anyway. So it was simple. The way I understand it was easy. But if we ever did, we'd have to go on a procurement process anyway to decide if we were going to deal with these people. But they're not on. We don't deal with them at the moment. So is it a biggie?
So what was the point in the first place then, if we don't deal with any of these companies that do business with these Israeli settlements? What was the point?
I think it's just to sort of put a line in the sand. And as I say, the UN had the list, and luckily, I suppose you could say, we don't deal with these people. And so it was simple. But as I say, I wasn't there.
Mm. There appears to be a bit of an online backlash to this. Were you surprised by that, Mr. Mayor?
I haven't looked at. I try and avoid looking at anything online because it ends up ruining your day.
That's not a bad way to look at life, to be honest. There are issues that I do want to raise with you as well, including the briefings that happen. Yes, I was watching once again the YouTube videos late at night time, as I do. Mr. Mayor, didn't it seem unusual that a staff member responsible for the climate change fund struggled to explain exactly how the funds will be allocated in the future?
Oh, you're talking about climate change, the one we just did the other day?
Yeah.
One of the good things is that we've establishing this fund is critical. It's getting some money together to put it in a pot to one day be able to have some money to assist in fixing our infrastructure once sea level rise, climate change. It's happening anyway. One of the important things, though, is we have to put it in a pot and be very rigorous on how we get it out, what triggers it to get it out. Because, as you know, what councils like all of a sudden, we've got some money there, we'll spend it on this puddle in the middle of a footpath. We've got to make sure it's for big things down the track. And the other thing is to put the money in a pot and leave it in the pot. Don't go starting nicking money out for this, that and the other, and leave it there, let the interest stay there so it's for that reason.
It sounds well intended, but as I think some of the staff or some of the councillors pointed out, that as new infrastructure is being created or constructed by council, things like climate change are already taken into consideration. For example, I'd imagine the new treatment plant that's going to be installed eventually, that's going to be up to a different standard to withstand, perhaps hotter temperatures or stronger winds. And so the question that some of the councillors had, I understand, was, what is the point of this if we're still already in a position where we make changes based on climate change now, as it is?
Well, you got to keep going, because you get to the stage of what you say, what's the point of waking up in the morning? So we've got to keep going. We can't not. As far as the wastewater treatment plant's concerned, the extra bit that we're doing there, I would say it's not going to be affected by climate change if by the time the sea level rises up to that level, the rest of the place is toast. That's way high. Most of it's buried underground, a little bit above ground. As long as it's earthquake proof, we're in good shape.
The staff member seemed visibly unsettled when questioned about the fund, suggesting that ratepayers should cover the cost of their high emissions lifestyle. Did she overstep the mark with that comment?
I think it was sort of pushing the edge of it, I believe, because everyone's got a right to live and do what they like, and someone might fly around the world in a private jet. Some might go on a rowing boat. It's everyone's can do what they like. So that was sort of getting a bit up there, I thought.
Yeah, because what is the definition of a high emissions lifestyle?
I don't know. If we talk too much, we make too much carbon dioxide. So if people talking too much, is that high emissions lifestyle?
I guess the point I'm trying to make is that do we have ideologues based in council making huge decisions on behalf of ratepayers because they have some contempt for us all having or living a high emissions lifestyle? I think that was quite a concerning comment. Yeah,
it is. It did concern me to a certain extent, yes. And Don't forget that this is just an information session. Normally, public wouldn't see, in the past, people wouldn't see this because it was termed a briefing. Now it's an information session and there's no decision to be made here. It's just throwing ideas around all over the place because it will be developed into something that we vote on, and we'll go out and consult on it, my favourite word, go out and consult on it, and it'll come back and get voted on. But things like that, high emissions lifestyle, who's to say who is doing what? So I thought that was sort of pushing the edge a bit.
Let's discuss the Harewood Cycleway. It seems to be facing significant setbacks now. Can you give us an update as to exactly where we are with this right now?
Righto. It's a gift that keeps on giving as far as I'm concerned. As you know, the vast majority of people that live in that are affected by this street don't want it. It's been a lot of conjecture over whether it's 4 lanes, 2 lanes, with Charity Hospital, Copenhagen Bakery, the Bishopdale Park, Bishopdale, all of that. It's when you've got 4 lanes, you go, oh, I like this. I don't really want to go down to 2 or 1 each way. The other thing we've got to remember is the government have pulled a hell of a lot of money off us, and they are not funding this. We have been given 7 options, and one in particular, a lot of the options have got those Breens Gardeners Harewood Road traffic lights in, which I think is absolutely fantastic, because if there's ever a place that needs traffic lights, in my view, it's there. I think we're putting traffic lights in a whole lot of places which maybe is not as important as this one.
Council wants to put the rates up again next year, more so than what it previously had initiated or indicated, rather. I mean, isn't it time just to say, no, actually, you know what? We're not going to put the rates up. People are still struggling. The last rate increase was bad enough. Find more savings.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree with you more. And the good thing about it is that the government now has said, get back to basics, is what I stood up for in the first place. Spend money on the things that are necessary, like water, sewer, stormwater as well, to do all these things that people expect, not a lot of this other stuff. So one day we'll come right and there won't be as much, there'll be more money around. But at the moment, we've really got to cut it right in. And this was this information session we had on rates, which people see, which they never used to see, is just a starting point, and it's up to us to get it down.
When you say, we need to not be doing the other stuff, what's the first thing that comes to mind for you, Phil?
The amount of, and people will get stuck in me for this about Cycleway, the amount of money we're spending on them, not the Cycleway itself, it's what we're spending on them. We're over-designing things as far as cycleways go. And other things, of course. And you pull it right back and you say, is this absolutely necessary? Can we run this for another couple of years before we do something to it, like resealing a road? I know we've got to keep on top of our road reseals, otherwise it runs away on you. If you don't keep up to a certain percentage done, before you know where you are, it's taking off into the distance and you'll never catch up.
Christchurch Mayor Phil Major, thank you so much for your time.
Good on you, man.